Hey yo, it's your boy. You already know who it is. Coming back with some PSO2-NGS content. And today I want to talk about something real quick. It's these yellow triggers, right? You use these yellow triggers for opening up these portals going in, and you use them to basically level. Like, that's how a lot of people in this game level, right? They go in, they use these, and this is what they look like in the background, right? That's what they look like. So let's go into some gameplay, right, of what a trigger looks like. Now, the content you're seeing in the background, it's pre-recorded. I was running a little bit, leveling up my techer, and you can basically get a gist of how simple it is and how fast they are, right? Now, it's only a level 25. It's just a bare bottom. My class isn't high enough to get into the 45 variant yet, at least not my techer. So I figured I'd go ahead and show it to you here. Now, the reason for this video is for one thing and one thing only, and I think it's the PlayStation players that now that the game is new, I don't think they understand the concept of it and how it works. So I figured I'd go ahead and drop some kind of content where you guys can kind of get an understanding for basically what's going on with these and how they work, right? Now, keep in mind there are a lot of other content creators who have made content based on this and have kept up content on this throughout the longevity of the game, and that's awesome. I'm definitely not going to discredit, but I figure I made this on the PSN, maybe it would touch a little bit more of the community, seeing as it would probably show up on the PlayStation rather than somebody having to actually go through and search for it on YouTube if that's how they get their content. So this is basically how it works, right? Those triggers, you need 5 of them per every time you open up the portal, okay? Get 5 of them, open up the portal. You can either run it solo or you can run it with a group. It has a matchmaking feature. As you can see in the background, I'm playing with a group, right? But here's the kicker to this, okay? This is the boss. As you can see, we're literally like 2 minutes in, a little over 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes in. We're on the boss, right? We're about to take the boss down, and once the boss is dead, I'm gonna zoom in on something over in the chat section, and I want you to see what this is, okay? So here we are, we're almost done, the boss is almost dead, the boss is taking all of its damage, and boom. Alright, so the boss is dead. So if you notice, down in the bottom, right, over in system, it says B trigger common yellow consume. So what happens is, when you're playing, these triggers get consumed after each use. So you have 5 of them, you go in, you do it, it gets consumed. But, there's a but, okay? There's a but. If you are in a group, the host of the group is the only one who will actually utilize their triggers, okay? So, this knowledge helps optimize the experience gains, especially right now. There's an event going where we're getting 70% additional experience right now for running yellow triggers, okay? And, I mean, to be fair, they're also expensive right now, in my opinion, especially for free-to-play players or new players coming in on PSN that don't have several multi-millions in currency, right? And as of right now, on ship 3, yellows are running for 10,000 per one. So one run of 5 is around 50,000 at bare minimum. Okay, 50,000 for one run. Okay, sounds cheap until you start buying, you know, 20, 30, so forth, and then it starts really fucking like cutting into your bank, where you want to have that meseta for other things, you know, like increasing your gear, upgrading your gear, augmenting your gear, etc. But anyway, that's off topic. My thing that I want to mention here is when you're playing with a party, right, you also get the party buff, which is more experience, right? So, what does this do? Let me explain. Say you have 20 of these yellow triggers, right? You have 20 of them. And normally 20 would be what? 4 runs, right? We're diving into a hypothetical situation here, right? That would be 4 runs, right? 5 times 4 is 20, right? So, math, easy math out the way. So that would be 4 runs. If you're not in a party and you're just running and not using any at all, right? That would be 4 runs, you're done. Well, now you're fucked. Now you gotta go farm some more. And as you can see in the background video, I even sent these people an invite and they looked at me like I was stupid and then declined it. So this is another reason why I was like, okay, I'm going to have to make this video because I don't think people understand the concept. Right? See? Canceled. They canceled it. So anyway, now, if you're playing in a party and everybody has 20, now, instead of just having 4 runs, now you can get 20 runs. Okay? That helps the entire group optimize all of their returns, right? Because now, instead of just going in 4 times and getting like 4 runs worth of experience, which probably gets you maybe 2 levels, now you get 20 runs. That 20 runs could potentially get you from like, what, 25 to 40? If you're in the same consistent run, in the same consistent group of people. Plus, it also helps if you're in the same group, instead of every single time having to queue up and wait for the entire group to, another group to queue up. You have the consistent queue times where it's just pop, 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 pop. And you can get things done faster. So the meaning of this was more or less trying to explain, right? Like, if you go in to these, invite people, like group up. This game's about a community. Like, that's the purpose of MMOs, right? MMOs are about the community. You know what I mean? And help the community. I mean, especially if it benefits you in the end too. Like, it's a community thing. You feel me? Like, I get it. There's some people don't want to group up, whatever. Like, it's whatever. It is what it is. Right? You can't tell people to do everything. Like, you can only lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? But, like I said, it's a community thing, right? Now, this gameplay right here in the background, I was with a group, so you'll be able to see, like, the difference side by side for what those last couple plays were like, running with a group outside of being in a group, and this time being with a group. But, yeah, I mean, come on, help the community. Seriously, help the community. Don't be a dick. Don't be that fucking guy, right? Like, I get it. There's people that are like, oh, I've had to farm these. These are mine. You should spend yours too. Of course they're going to spend theirs. You spend yours. Toss somebody else host. Let them spend theirs. Let them toss host to the next person and cycle through. Cycle through everybody. Everybody spends theirs. Unless somebody has to go, then I mean, oh well, you matchmake, get somebody else. Right? But it's still the point. Like, cycle through. Just cycle through host. It takes 2 seconds to invite somebody to a party. If you're doing this, especially if this is like an optimal way for leveling up characters and such. There's no PvP in this. It's not like you're going into PvP and You know, you're playing this to try to like outcourse somebody. There's nothing here. It's literally like borderline of an MMO. You feel me? In the end of it, the only way people are gonna get certain things completed is if the player base is geared up for it and they're able to do so. So why not help? Why not help the community? You know what I mean? If you got a crap ton of fucking triggers, sit as host. Alright? If you're leveling up a class and you have like 400 triggers, just sit there as host. So what? Host, grab a party. Help the player base that's trying to level up. Help the newer players. You know, I have probably like 5 or 6 of my classes at level 60. I've burned all of my yellow triggers and leveling up probably about half of them, maybe a little bit more than half of them, just because I don't care to help the community, right? So that was the purpose of this, just so you guys can kind of get that clear understanding. Like, if you're running these and you're trying to level up, set up a party, grab whoever is in there. It'll save you time. Plus, you'll be able to get more runs in, being able to spread out the actual yellow triggers that they have and you have as a party. Instead of just everybody running their own 5 and making everybody's life miserable. It's your boy. Check that. Boom. As I said, didn't consume it. It's your boy. I'm out. Love you guys.